Recent Anik Florian podcast guest, new Mansa, Joaquin Buckley minus 192. Alex Morono plus 160. So Buckley, the former middleweight, stopped Andre Fialho back on May 20th. Now a near 2-1 favorite as he spins it forward against the Fortis MMA / Gracie Baja, the Woodlands product, Alex Morono. Ken Flo, how about this? Over under 17 and a half UFC fights for Alex Morono coming in. Over under 17 and a half UFC fights to this point in time for Alex Morono.
Man, I mean, did we call his fights back in the day? I would think over, dude.
It's a lot. Over hits 12 and 5 with a no contest, and he submitted Tim Means Business back in May on ABC in Charlotte. Kemflo, what do you think here? Buckley minus 192 or Morono plus 160 in a featured bout?
Oh man, here's another tough one for me. I think Morono could get things done if he can get to that clinch consistently. If he can hit those takedowns, get top position, I think he can give Buckley a tough time. I do know that Joaquin Buckley has been training with one of the best teams in the world as far as jiu-jitsu goes, and B Team in Austin, Texas. I've been seeing him train a lot more down there, probably in preparation for this fight here against Morono, who's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. I think that Buckley is going to be certainly the more powerful guy on the feet. He's a guy who can end the fight in an instant. And I think we saw that in his last fight at 170 pounds. Now, assuming he has another good weight cut, I think he should win this fight. Morono can cause problems for you, though. He's very good at forcing people to fight his fight. I think the odds are a little bit too high for Buckley here, but I'm willing to go with it. I think Buckley's power, his athleticism, kind of will get him by in this one. He's going to have to stop the takedowns. Going to have an answer to those clinches of Morono consistently. But yeah, I'll go with Buckley. I think his size is going to be a factor here in this one as well.
All right, Brian Petrie, we need a selection. Joaquin Buckley, minus 192. Alex Morono, plus 160. And by the way, if you see me looking off to the side, the Boston Celtics just made a big trade for Drew Holiday with Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
Looks like the Time Lord Robert Williams might no longer be a Boston Celtic. So that was the reason why I was looking off to the side. But Holiday's a fucking stud. Bri, who do you have for us, though? I know our mixed martial arts audience cares not about what I just said.
I love this fight. This is a fight that puzzles me because I get these guys wrong all the time. You know what I mean? Morono, the last time out, I go, I got to start putting on respect on Alex Morono's name. I don't think I'm going to do that this time because I think I'm going Joaquin Buckley. I love that he's down to the B Team with Craig Jones and Nicky Ryan, those guys. That's one of the best gyms in the world. I was wondering, because I watched their vlogs on YouTube, I'm wondering, like, more guys need to go down here. Like, these guys are real deal studs. And Craig Jones works with Alex Volkanovski, who got him ready for Islam. And look what he did there. That's a guy who knows what the fuck he's doing. I love that move by Buckley. He's bounced all over the world. He's a character. He's funny online, but he's serious about this stuff. And I think people are maybe looking too much into his 170 debut in the UFC. I mean, Andre Fialho is coming off 4 straight knockout losses. Yes, he looked good. Yes, he looked great. Yes, he looked ripped up, everything, but let's not overreact. So I do agree the line's a little long because Alex Morono is just a guy who's just there. I mean, he had the Ponzinibbio fight, won, and then he got clipped, right? That's been his big thing in his career is his chin. He's got that awkward style, volume, fight IQ through the roof, has taken some good shots and can give shit, but over time, 3 rounds, I don't know if he can, and Buckley can fucking crack. I love this fight because it makes me uncomfortable, and I'm trying this new thing that, usually I would be like, I'm scared. I'm not going to 3 units on Buckley because I think he's going to get it done. I'm not afraid. Let's go. I live in the uncomfortable, baby.
Absolutely chiseled black dude versus like doughy white dude. Right. And the doughy white dude always finds a way.
It's true.
We'll see how it goes. 2 really good eggs there. Joaquin Buckley and Alex Morono. May the better man win. All right, co-main event. Back to you, Petrie, on this. Joe Body Bags Pyfer, minus 395. Abdul Razak Al Hassan is plus 310. Pyfer 11-2. He's 27 years of age out of Philadelphia, PA. And he's off to a resounding 2-0 start in the UFC. Here he draws the power-packing Abdul Razak Al Hassan, a 38-year-old veteran of 11 UFC fights. Another wide spread here, BP.
Yeah.
Which way are you going?
So I love this fight. A little quick backstory. I hate Joe Pyfer's nickname, the Body Bag. The one time I was going to fight in amateur mixed martial arts, I drove to Indianapolis. I weighed in against a guy named Allen, the body bag, forget his last name. And I'm like, God, you get that out of here. He ended up pulling out, fighting that never happened. You know, I think
Of course he did.
I think he pissed his pants at the weigh-ins. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But be like Joe Pyfer needs to be his nickname. I mean, Dana White stamps you, bro. That's what you're going to known as. The next week, you're sitting ringside. You're saying you're homeless. You're ringside with some hot chick. Be like Joe Pyfer's your nickname. I mean, am I wrong?
It's just B. It's just B.
B, yeah, right. B Joe
so
Pyfer.
It's not be like, right? But it's yes. I mean, they've already printed the shirts, but yes, he would be announced by Buffer as, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, B Joe Pyfer. It's fucking perfect.
Perfect. And Dana, Dana gave you that, right? I like Joe Pyfer. He's a big, beefy kid. He's coming along good. I mean, the one time we saw him grapple against Stolfus back in the Contender Series, he broke his arm. I know that can happen. Stolfus was a pretty good grappler. Abdul Razak Al Hassan is going to come in and probably use some judo. I mean, this is a guy who's been chin before. He's got big, big power. If he doesn't get you out of the first round, it's going to be a wrap for him, in my opinion. I think he's going to want to grapple a little bit. I love what Pyfer did. After the Jared Mearskart fight, he went and did a couple grapplings, right? He grappled Jared Mearskart and beat him, beat him by on points or decision or whatever. So I like that he's mixing it up and he's getting better. The number's huge, but B Joe Pyfer, baby, I think he wins his fight. I think it's going to be a second or third round knockout. I think he's going to continue to grow, super athletic, super powerful. As long as he doesn't get clipped, I think, you can play a one round KO on a Hassan. I think that'd be a great, gorgeous number for you. But I like Joe Pyfer here.
B Joe Pyfer, minus 395. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, plus 310. Those are the odds right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Ken Flo, what do you have for us here?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those fights I do not see going the distance. Both guys have big power. They both have a bunch of knockouts on their record. So it could be very chaotic in there. And it's not always clear as to who's going to get the knockout when you have two guys with that kind of speed, that kind of power, that kind of athleticism. But I think Pyfer is a little bit newer on the scene. I think his consistency you can rely on a bit more than Al Hassan's. So give me Pyfer here.
All right, finally, our main event, first UFC headlining spot for Grant Dawson, whom you will hear from shortly right here on the Anik Florian podcast in about 10 minutes. He is the whopping minus 425 favorite against Bobby King Green, who is plus 300. 23rd UFC appearance for King Green, coming in following a recent win over Tony Ferguson. That was at UFC 291 in late July in Salt Lake City. So Green still only 37, just turned, but speed's still there, at least to my eyes, but figures to get a good wrestling test from Dawson, who is 20-1 as an MMA pro and 8-0-1 in the UFC after a win over Damir Ismagulov back on July 1st. UFC Fight Night main event, Dawson Green, Brian Petrie. Who do you have?
I should have been sold on Green a while ago, but it took the Damir fight for me to sell on him. This guy's grappling. Even, I guess, the Mark Madsen fight as well, Olympic silver, maybe gold medalist, what he did to him too. The guy's grappling's for real. His cardio's for real. The move from Krause's to American Top Team was a great move for him. He's made leaps and bounds improvements, right? I want to see a little more polish on the feet because I feel like once you start cracking these really top 10, top 5 guys, I don't know if that style is going to work. Bobby Green's an interesting guy. Good takedown defense. When he gets taken to the ground, he's got submissions, submitted Tony Ferguson, but now off his back is a little tricky for me. I think Grant Dawson's going to live there. I think this is a great fight for Grant Dawson. Bobby Green, he got paid taking that Islam fight on short notice. Every time I see him, he's got more jewelry, he's got more rings. This guy needs to train to be able to support all the jewelry he's got on. King Green, I love Bobby Green. Phenomenal performance over Tony Ferguson here. But this is a different guy. This is not a guy that's at the end of his career. This is the beginning of his career. And stylistically, it's a horrible matchup for him. I like Grant Dawson here. I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 extra units on Grant Dawson. Let's just use the 5 total. I wasn't going to. That was a spur of the moment thing, but let's just fucking do it. I think this is a slam dunk for him.
We like that spur of the moment stuff here on the Anik Florian podcast. Ken Flo, Grant Dawson, first main event for him taking on the credentialed Bobby King Green. Huge price on Grant Dawson. Petrie has no problem laying it. What do you think about the main event coming up this weekend?
Yes, sir. Very interesting fight. I think that Bobby Green, with his unorthodox style, can pose a lot of problems for people, particularly other strikers. Grant Dawson is not a striker. And I think he has a style which could kind of take away some of the advantages that Bobby Green can have against other guys. What does he do? Grant Dawson goes there and smothers you. He takes away space. He gets in your face, and he looks for a way to get to that clinch or get in on your legs. And he gets right to work, man. He goes right to work. He lets you carry his weight. He's very good at keeping top position. He's very good at transitioning to your back. And from what I've seen so far out of Bobby Green, on the ground, he just looks very lost. And again, someone like Grant Dawson, you can't be there on the ground and on your back for too long because he will take advantage of it with his ground and pound or his submission game. So I like this fight for Grant Dawson as well. I do want to go big here as well, while I am a little bit gun shy after the shellacking that I've been experiencing over the last month and a half or so. Let's go 5 unis on Grant Dawson. Nice. He is a big favorite, but I do like this one and need some points.